the only people who need refuge are women, particularly from Afghanistan, Syria. They're the ones who are being properly oppressed here, and they're the ones who need us to help them, not a load of working age young bucks who are obviously crawled over the bodies of women and children to get on those boats. I mean, it really enrages me because, there's a crisis going on for women around the world in countries where the Taliban and far right Islamists have taken over, and we should be helping them, not these people. Number two, I'm not allowed to mention there's a by-election, but I can't say it. But I can talk about Zach Polanski. Can I talk about Zach Polanski?
On a national level?
Yes. So Zach Polanski, who is the leader of the Green Party, who is polling really high, especially with young people, his policy on migrants is to let everyone come, to immediately give them housing, full benefits, not require them to work, but give them a living wage. He has basically said, anyone can come, we will treat you as though you are effectively a citizen in waiting. So, it's and Zach Polanski is fascinating because he polls really well with young women, and this I don't understand. But he is a sort of kind of he presents himself as this sort of nice guy, but actually he's a hard left. I mean, he's much worse than Labour. So there's a whole big picture thing here going on. But I agree. I mean, Labour haven't managed to stop the boats. It's very difficult to stop the boats. But the people who are coming should just be ashamed of themselves.
I agree. I'm going to give you something from Poppy Coburn. I was on this morning doing the papers from the Daily Telegraph. I mean, this completely blew us all out the water, excuse the pun. Under human rights law, this is ludicrous but true. Whatever you're doing, pin back your lugholes. Under human rights law advocated by Starmer and his bunch of cronies, it would be better if we were landlocked, because if we were landlocked in this country, we could build a wall or a fence, think Trump, because we would have that right. As an island, Sarah Vine, surrounded by water, we have a human rights legal right, or whatever, not right, responsibility for people who come here illegally to pick them up, because if we don't and they drown. That'll be on us.
I know.
I find it's beyond me. What, the RNLI's become a bloody taxi service?
It has, and that is the madness of the EHCR. It's just insane. But it's I don't know who. I mean, I just think someone who climbs over children and women to get here is not someone I really want here. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I completely agree. But for me, it's not difficult. I have watched swathes of politicians tell me about human rights and about logistics. The truth is, right, if you make it so brilliantly opportunists to come here, if you wipe the backsides of people who have paid nothing, you are going to encourage streams to get in whichever way. If you cut that off and you say that morally, whatever your politics, thank you so much to the married couple in Birmingham who both work jobs. One deals with the kids in the afternoon, the other in the evening. You're struggling to pay your bills, but you've never broken the law. Thank you so much. We're going to double your taxes, because what we're going to do is we're going to let people in willy-nilly who have never paid, who have no respect for our country, our traditions and our language, and we're actually going to treat them better than you. That's not fair.
It's not just a lack of respect. It's worse than that. They actively seem to despise us.
Yeah.
A lot of them, It's unfortunately, it is fact. If you look at the figures and if you look at the sort of the amount of assaults that we see perpetrated by migrants, it's not the case that they are coming here and going, thank you very much. I've come here because I've tried to get away from something awful and I want to live in your country because I think it's a civilized place. That is not what is happening. No. If that was what was happening, it would be okay. But it's not. There's a total that we are importing a culture that, and I'm sorry to bang this drum again, that hates women.
Yep.
That doesn't believe in our values, that doesn't think that everyone should be. I mean, it's not our culture, and we have to try and contain it. And that is not being racist. That's being realistic about how much a country can cope with.
Absolutely.
In terms of...
to me, it can't be deemed racist. You're right. Look what we did with Ukraine. And I'm with you. we are always and always have been ready to protect those who are vulnerable. But the BS that is spouted about we're leaving war-torn countries, no, you're not. You're leaving, okay? You are leaving a tent on a French beach, and whether people like this or not, the truth is you are coming to a 4-star hotel. You'll see a GP and a dentist, get a mobile phone and a credit card. You'll probably get benefits, and you're a lady and you're a woman and you've just said it and so have I. You will probably 1,000,000%, many of you will go and attack somebody, and predominantly a woman, and that is fundamentally wrong.
So it is also, it's a safeguarding issue.
Yep.
We've seen what's happened with all of, we've got case after case of people who have come on these boats doing terrible things. There was a 12-year-old girl who was literally dragged out of a playground by a guy the other day and raped while he filmed it on his telephone laughing. I mean, that this is just, I mean, I know that people from this country do things like that as well, but
that's not a reason to exacerbate it by having people come here who don't follow our rules.
And the thing is, if you make it a really lovely, cushy, your previous caller was right, it's like a sort of all-inclusive super duper package. Come here and you get all the stuff that you want that you can't get anywhere else. To be perfectly honest, if you're an illegal migrant who's come from a country, possibly because you're a criminal there already, and you come here and you do something terrible and you end up in a British jail, you're probably better off in a British jail than you would be where you've come from, because you get you get all the sort of, you get 3 hot meals a day. You get people respecting your religion. You get people, some nice person coming to talk to you about your mental health.
Don't start me on that. They'll say, this is the latest thing they say, I'm Christian, or I'm gay, or I don't like, when I say this story to people, they think I'm making up. I can't go back because my son doesn't like the chicken nuggets in Albania.
That was a good one.
The whole thing.
But this is the problem with the ECHR. It's open to abuse. It's a bad law. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have, be mindful of human rights, but this is a bad piece of legislation that allows people to abuse it, and that's the problem with it. And that's why, Kemi Badenoch is right. We should come out of it. Farage is right. We should not be part of this. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I just